So, one of the things that you mentioned was that you've been playing out in a rock band situation in venues or at venues that are pretty big venues now. And you're going to send me this video, but you know it's like a 2-hour set of like playing high energy rock music, right? And you're noticing that you can get through that length of time, that 2-hour period, and still not feel as though you're stressed out. That you stay fairly relaxed through it. Now, one of the things that that Richard Wilson made a really big deal out of it, and the problem is that unfortunately, so did I, which meant that I wonder if I could find something. Which meant that I would exaggerate things that I was taught. I'll go get it because it'll just give you the visual that will help you connect this with the technique. Hold on, let's see if I can find it. It should be over here. You're going to have to pad and say something to organize people. Maybe this isn't going like planned. Here. Yeah, this should. This is just some of my scripts. It's a handful. 13 years of these are, Richard Wilson scripts. And you know why he called them scripts. I never act about it, but I think it's pretty obvious because it's your prescription. Go to the doctor and he says, this is what's ailing you. Take 2 aspirins, an upstroke and a downstroke, and call me in the morning. Okay. So let's see if I can find what I'm talking about. It'd be funny if after all that, it's nowhere to be found. Sure does mark upstrokes and downstrokes. Makes a big deal out of that. Here's an example. This would be a good stroke for you. So it's a 6-stroke roll. And what I'm pointing out, there's a bunch to talk about here, but what I was talking about is RE and SQ. Then there's an RE and another SQ, which is release, squeeze, right? I've alluded to that. What I ended up doing was not really understanding, exaggerating that. So that can mess up your playing. Also, he's got indicated bottom of the bead on the other side. Stay low for singles, come up for the throw, bottom of the bead on upstroke. This is all the same stuff. Over and over, right? And shoot.
Regarding the squeeze and release, you said you over exaggerated, which I get it. But how do you then teach it without having the student over exaggerate?
With that warning. That's how.
Yeah.
By copying to the fact that the best therapist was the best patient, talking about prescriptions, right? So hopefully I can help you with this. But it's something to be aware of because Marie, and see, these words are just words. We talked about that, right? We had that discussion at the last lesson where words don't necessarily connect to the reality of what it is that this technique is about. It's good to start with having the words. It's good to start to memorize all of the things that you're told, or taught, right? But so what we're looking to do is connect with what is really going on, right? And so when Murray Spivack said, "You're loose going up and you're tight going down," I didn't know how to interpret that. Right? So then that becomes the entirety of the technique. And you're loose going up and you're tight coming down, and it's like, is that the reality, or are those me interpreting the words incorrectly?
Mm-hmm.
So what we're trying to, right? What we're trying to do is and that's what Dick Wilson told one of his longest studying students, who at one point, he told me this story, it was so charming, and I got really frustrated. I said, "Can't you tell me this in another way?" And Dick just crossed his legs, which he, I'm using the same words that are connected to how I conceive of the technique. These are the best words that I know how to express what it is I'm feeling and trying to show you. And so I'm going to use the same words until you learn what they mean, right? So, and that's how Dick taught. Maybe there are other ways, you know. Maybe there are ways to come at things so that a student does get it. That was how Dick Wilson felt, Richard Wilson felt about it. So this idea that you're tight going up and loose coming down is interesting, right?
The opposite, right? Loose going up, tight going down, right?
Did I say it backwards? That you're loose going up, that'll really help a student, and tight going down, right? So just, we have this script that I've been talking about. And we have, so this is, we're still talking about the throw, which is, believe me, this is how it goes. So you've already raised your beat a little. You see, so just go ahead and make a throw and stop at the floor. Okay, now the hand, just go ahead and do this with me. The hand will do this with no stick. Take the stick out of your hand. The stick, right? And so if the hand, and we're not way up here, we want to be in a position that's comfortable and parallel to the floor, and so we're playing. Essentially, although we're not playing because we don't have a stick in our hand, right? And then, and you can just face me. So that's good. That's good though. Yeah, you got it. Everything's relaxed, and you'll notice if you bend forward, the fingers react to the wrist. Mm-hmm. And if you come back, fingers react. You get this and this. Right? Now, if we're going up around that fixed point in the universe, just go ahead and do this with me. Put your hand just gently underneath the stick. I'm going to be in a nice, flat, natural position, not under, not up. Just a nice, flat, natural position. And then just do this. See, you really are moving around a fixed point in the universe, aren't you? And then if you came back down, the hand seems to open and close, doesn't it? But you didn't do it. Mm-hmm. Now, if you were to come up and make a throw, don't be afraid to cock your wrist. No, it's going to come up and you're going to, nice and slow, nice and easy. Watch how fast this comes down. Yours is coming down really fast. I'm not sure why. Just do this. See, it doesn't come down really fast, does it? You're just reversing the direction of the motion. So now you're going to reverse the direction of the motion. There, we're like that. The arm's going to fall as you come back. There. Right. See, so it's this fixed point in the universe. So very, that's a Richard Martinezism. Fixed point in you. Dick would say, you leave the bead down. Right? So we can also go up where we're moving around a fixed point in the universe. Right? Or we can just turn our wrist. And I have Dick Wilson showing that to me on a video. So you can go watch him do it. Got his left arm up in the air, so he's up in the air, and he goes, right? And he's just saying, until you feel this, Kevin, you're not going to feel it. Now, what does that mean? Oh no. Okay. So this idea that there is some closure on the way up. There I am backwards again. Oh my dyslexic. That there is some closure on the way down after we come up and are feeling what is. You're open going up, you're loose going up, Spivack, and you're tight coming down. But you don't do it. Okay, so, and this is connected. Go ahead.
But can you explain me because like if we're here, right, my fingers open naturally, right? Mm-hmm. Now with the drumstick, they cannot, otherwise the drumstick falls, right? So if I'm here, right, it just falls. So
sounds kind of like a Kevin Crabb question from years and years ago. And it's a perfectly valid question. So what we want to understand is how the body works. What if we were playing hand drums? You see, I remember a well-known magazine writer who said that he noticed that when he went to see Carlos at Big Potato, from a distance it looked like there were no sticks. Because these motions are akin to playing hand drums, for instance. Right? Now we're holding the stick, but we're not going to abrogate everything that would happen if we weren't holding the stick. What does the body really do when we move away from a surface with a floor? What would it do? Now, yes, we're holding the stick, but we're not holding it so tight that we're not going to experience some of what we feel in the body when we're not holding the stick. So we want that three-finger grip. And we really, until you make a strike, you're not going to feel, if you just come out of not making the strike, you haven't squeezed. No, it's just this. Why don't you look funny? It looks funny. You look like this. Why is that?
Well, but that's what I'm thinking, because that's the fingers opening, right?
You're doing what no. It's, watch. Here, watch. See if I can show you. This is tricky stuff to teach as well.
I want to hear about it.
So much. So let me see. First, see, there's some closure there. Then I feel it. See? Here. Okay, I'll show you another way to feel it. But see, so there, I'm going up. Yeah, still got the three-finger grip. You can see that the hand is a little more closed here, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I haven't lost my grip at all. There's a feeling of, and I'll show you in a minute, there's a feeling of moving around the stick. You know,
Okay, yeah.
So do this. So that's the way it goes. It doesn't look like this, like you're trying to open them. You don't do anything. You're just going to notice. Or like that. Or like that. And then cock your wrist. And then it closes. Don't undo it and keep your grip. It'll move around the stick on the way and be more closed. There it is. And don't try to do it. Don't do that. So when you're playing on those heavy rock gigs, one of the things that you have happening is release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release. Dum, bum, 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 dum, bum, bum, bum. I'll play here, mix, loose in the shot, dun, dun, boom, 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 boom. Squeeze, release, 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 squeeze. Paradiddle.
But what about then the squeeze bit?
What now?
Can you because we discussed mostly the release. What about the squeeze or the down?
Well, you just heard me saying squeeze, release, but that's a good question, and it leads to an important aspect. Dick would say, Kevin, you only release what you've squeezed. No more, no less.
Okay.
Okay? There. Now those are words. Now you have to go ahead.
Now, right? And again, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, right? Because like Murray also mentions, I think also in this video does mention, you know, the actual use of the middle finger to kind of also thrust down, right? But that's not it, is it?
That's very good and fair question. And Murray would talk about that because Murray had a different. We'll get into that in a minute, perhaps. But Murray did have a different. He wanted to get to this position sooner, and then you could potentially come all the way back. Now, what happens when you squeeze? Isn't that a form of tightness? Isn't that where you can thrust with the middle finger? He'd say.
Yeah.
So you're loose, you're loose, you're loose, you're loose, and then you're tight. But we don't need to squeeze because it'll happen by itself. We can, but we're not there. We don't need to do that. But if you did squeeze, you'd want to release just with, if you did purposely thrust, you'd want to release what you thrusted with, or to the amount.
Right.
Countervailing the amount that you squeezed. So, but we're not there. We want to feel it naturally, you see, and that's where I ended up going, squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze. No. So I don't want you to fall into that trap. Okay. So let's just feel it, right? Well, you did. You said you wanted to talk about the squeeze, but you already showed it to me. You put the stick on your hand and you went up, and then I said, see. You said there's a little moving around the stick. The stick is still going up. Butt end is going up. And then it starts to close, and you felt it. There, not bad. Now look, come all the way to the floor. Cock your wrist and feel the hand want to close a little. Maintain your 3-finger grip. So you're loose going up, and you're tight coming down. Loose going up, tight coming down.
But I can definitely see one falling into the pit trap of just overthinking this and just overdoing it. I see your point, yeah.
Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're working on the pair, and that's where you get your relaxation. And remember, I'll reiterate. Keep playing. I'll reiterate that you are only going to release what you squeeze. That's how much you're going to release. Now make a tap on the way up. You're so close to the surface, you can't help but see, because you've learned to move around to fix. Now you've learned. It wasn't that long ago, Raph, where you said it's impossible to leave the bead here. It's what you're doing.
I did say that. We go back to the wording thing. You said lead with your wrists, right? And that for me has a different interpretation. Okay.
And that's what I'm talking about. Why you have to be careful. What does it mean to be loose going up and tight coming down? What does that really mean? They're just words. What does it mean you're throwing a ball? Like throwing a ball. What does it mean it's like you're going up like a praying mantis? What does it mean like you're going up like a begging dog? You're going up like a puppet on a string. Maybe that will help. The main thing you want to realize, lift your bead up, but That's about, don't lift your bead up on the way up. That meant you lead with your arm. Leave the bead, no, don't lift it up. Look at your bead. Show me where the floor is. Right there. You can't move from there, the bead. Now go on up. Okay, now you haven't come down, so you haven't really squeezed, so there's nothing to release yet. Don't point your first finger, there's no need to release that. First finger and thumb don't release.
Okay.
Okay? Good. Now you're going to cock your wrist, come down, and there the hand's more closed. Now go ahead and make a tap. Go ahead and make a tap. And come down again and feel that closure. Tap. All the way down. Watch that fixed point in the universe. It's good, Ralph. Now, a little faster. Up. Down. Release. Squeeze. Release. Squeeze. Come all the way down. Don't change. Only release what you squeeze. Feel it in your hand. Release. Squeeze. Release. Squeeze. Keep going. A little faster. Don't lift up to the ceiling because release doesn't involve lifting up to the ceiling. Now, we want to not have happen. Let's see. Cool. Better. But what we don't want to have happen is what might be happening. Let me see. I got to be able to prove this stuff. See, my arm looks a little, once it got faster, the arm doesn't move much, but once it gets faster, it doesn't turn into this. So it's really coming from the bicep. You had a little bit of this going on. It kind of looks right, doesn't it? And Dick would say, Kevin, put your hand on my bicep. Do you feel it get tight? Do you feel my bicep? Expanding and contracting. It would just hang there. It was just hang there. The muscles that are expanding and contracting are the muscles in front of the elbow. This is hanging, okay? And then you're going to feel the slight closure on the way up. See? So watch. It's really got to go up like this. Watch. It's got to go up like Dick Wilson would go up like this. Come on, go ahead and. It's okay to put your finger here because it might seem like it helps a little, right? But we want to learn what it feels like to not. But the finger isn't really holding it anyway. It's just kind of like a marker of some sort. So we're going up like this, right? Leading with the wrist. We're leading with the wrist. We don't go up with the arm. We're leading with the wrist. Okay, come back down. And we're going up like this. You see how the arm moved? And then you're going to cock. There. That can't stop happening just because you go faster. It's got to watch how it follows a path. It follows a path. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release. See, it's still following that path. Work on that. We really want to make now, and of course, Marie would have you go up thusly. He'd still have the release part. Murray you'd release. Dick would continue to go up. Murray would. This is critical. You have to get this part of it, and then he'd do what you said, which is what he has Louis Belson do. He only goes up that much because he wants to get to where he believes the power is. This, to me, this feels stronger to me. And you'll make it your own mind as you go along. Okay, so now put the metronome on at 40, and let's incorporate this into our thinking when it comes to playing the paradiddle.
Your preference is the Dick way, right?
Pardon?
Your preference is the Dick way.
Well, I studied with Dick a lot longer than Murray.
Okay,
sure. And it feels like you'd want to be aware of both, and it feels like as it gets smaller, they're the same.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I mean they incorporate the majority of the things are the same, really, right? So it's not really that different.
I already gave you what makes it the same. I think you missed it.
No, I haven't missed it.
Okay, then what makes them the same?
The same is this here is exactly the same.
You can show me Murray. Well, why is Murray this? Or is that Dick? Or no? You said okay. Stay with me. You didn't really get it. It's cool. Let me help. As I explained, you get the release. You get the release. Now, here's Murray. You got the release. Then he goes up. With Dick, you get the release, and he follows it up this way.
Right.
You get the release. Squeeze and release. Might scream it at you. Okay.
So it's just
The release.
Yeah.
And then now you have a squeeze and release. So there's two ways of moving, but both of them are going to incorporate squeeze and release, which means you have to get this part of it or some other technique. Okay.
But then because I mean you obviously demonstrated quite a big stroke like here, but if it's a smaller stroke, I suppose there's no difference really, right? From Murray versus.
That's where it gets confusing. We wish that they were here to talk to about this. Right? But yeah, exactly. Because if you're only going up a little bit, at some point, there's no time to come way up here, and there's no time to come up here. It's just release. And that's when, and they both talked about this, it's like a little flick.
Mm-hmm.
Talked about that, right? See the little flick? See the little flick? See the little release and squeeze? You can see it with no stick in my hand. Watch. It doesn't do this. It's this. It's just this, and then this. That's just this. Watch how far my thumb and this is all remedial because there's no stick in your hand, but I guess this is how it would be forever if we were to demonstrate it with no stick in your hand. So just let's see. It's this. That's all, and then you flip down. No, you have to lift your wrist. No, almost better. Mine only came apart this much. Look at my thumb and first finger. So now I'm not holding a stick, so they might release. And then I flick and they come back together. Like that. Yeah, see how the first finger and thumb come back together the same every time? You're releasing what you squeezed. That's how much you release, that's how much you squeeze. It's going to feel different when you're holding the stick. Okay, now let's give this a go. All right, so 40. Now, go ahead. We're playing eighth notes, really slow. Okay. 2 and how slow that is. So if we're now what we're doing is we're playing. So right now, we don't have a squeeze and release, do we? Here's another thing that, well, maybe there's like a little, I come up with all these different ideas that really didn't help me get to where I was going.
No, there's no squeeze and release, only if there's a throw, really.
Okay, sorry, I just dealing with car headlight assemblies. God. Okay. So we're just playing the paradiddle at eighth notes at 40, and you notice we're always coming back to the 4, or we should be. Not playing, just waits. Good, okay? Okay? Now, this time we're going to incorporate a throw. Right? We had to do that last time. it's so slow that it doesn't feel very critical. But I guess we could use this. So if I come up and make a throw, so I'm going to feel squeeze and release. I release right there. So squeeze, release, squeeze, and then up. That's so slow. Now the left is going to be a little more relaxed. It doesn't need to. See, it can be the hand. When you're just playing the paradiddle with no squeeze and release, feel what the stick feels like in your hand. How tight are you? You're not squeezing or releasing, so it's just laying in your hand. No, don't squeeze and release yet. Just feel how the stick lays in the hand, and there's no opening or closing. You just leave it alone. Go ahead and just play paradiddles that way. It just lays in your hand, 3-finger grips, just laying there, and you're just doing this. Okay, now as soon as you make a throw, the hand's a little more closed. And then in a paradiddle, so and now for the 2 doubles, even though we're not going to rebounds, my hand feels like it did when I was playing paradiddles before I squeezed.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So try that. Now there should be a little more relaxation. It should feel like paradiddles. Let's see. Let me just try something. Oops. Yeah, I almost led with my arm. Okay. Okay, do this. This is kind of cool. You're going to just play. You're going to play paradiddle back and forth, but you're only making the accent when the right hand plays the downstroke. The other hand is just going to turn the wrist. So after your downstroke, it has to go back to the feeling because you're going to be tighter when you land. And it has to go back to the feeling as you play the next double. You're going to maintain that squeeze. Now right there. Now it feels like the other hand, doesn't it? And I get tighter there. Just a little. And now it's going to feel like the other hand that has squeezed or released. Good. And you can don't make a big deal. Just hang with me. You got it, dude. You're breaking up your own flow right now. I just want you to know. But if you have a question, go ahead.
I'm just absorbing what you're saying. That's all.
Okay, cool. But I want you to keep playing to absorb it. Because remember, I'm trying to get you to feel it. Don't point your first finger on the way up. Because it doesn't release. The hand's just laying in the hand. Now it's going to close a little. And now it's going to go back to the feeling of it just goes in the hand. It's going to go back to that state that we'd call the release of what we just squeezed. Okay, now do that the other way. A little more closure, and then it's a little more relaxed there. You're going to release what you squeezed now, right there for the double in the wrist. Squeeze. Come on, keep playing. Squeeze. Release. Squeeze. Release. Now go back and forth. Can you feel that in both hands? Squeeze. 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 Come on, keep playing. If you don't keep playing, you don't feel it. You have to go back to the other. It can't exist in a vacuum. Squeeze. Release. Squeeze. Release. Don't turn too high for your double. Squeeze. Keep them not too high. Squeeze. Release. Squeeze. Release. Squeeze. Release. Squeeze. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Hold on. Squeeze. It feels a little weird to do this as slow. There's not even an upstroke, is there? You really have to meditate on this. Let me see. Now I'm playing 16th notes. I'm still playing the double on the wrist, but I feel a little release. Release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release. Play 16th notes, twice as fast. Okay? See. Go ahead. Don't put your first finger. Release the grip. Come on, you gotta play the whole thing. It won't. Okay. Is your metronome on? 16th notes now. Twice as fast. Release. Squeeze, release. Don't turn too high for your doubles. Decide. There. That's how high you're going to turn. There's got to be 2 notes. Remember last week you were bouncing your note. 2 wrist turns. No, you're starting to bounce. Be 2 wrist turns. There's no release, so it's just doing this, right? You really want to make sure, Raph, the Richard Wilson approach really is obvious, isn't it? Yeah, I think Dick was worried that guys would really not be giving enough time, spending enough time with the actual release. Here, now we could go up that high and not release it all as well, right? So, but you have a better chance. You see, this is the motion we want to make. This is the motion we want to make. It's got to go up. It's got to go up and then down. See? You can't just be haphazard so that you're just sort of maybe making them know. You have to make an honest to goodness motion, which is a little, see in the left, let's see if I can do it here. Watch. See, it's everything is, watch for a second. Squeeze, now the left. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. Squeeze. Really not quite set up right. Squeeze, release, 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 squeeze. Both grips are working the same, aren't they? In a lot of ways, not in every way. But these foundational concepts have to exist. We actually have to make a throw. We have to make a throw. Or we do a Murray throw, just like in the right. He comes up, he gets the release, and then he comes up. And it can happen where we come up like Dick would have you come all the way up to there. Right? Murray would want you to get here sooner.
So the way up, because you're saying that obviously the fingers are not doing this, I get it. But there is some expansion of the fingers on the way up, right? Not these 3, but at least these 2, right? Not.
And the baby finger. You're gonna hold the baby finger rigid and not let it work with the hand. Seems to be working okay. Not bad. Now, when you're playing, can you come up like that? Really honest, every time, come up for an honest to goodness throw. Keep going. Good enough. Okay, metronome back on at 40. We're playing 16th notes, which is how it's written. What you really want to be careful of is better, what you want to be careful of is, I had Dick showing me this on video and I think it got erased. But you don't go up, leaving the bead down, and then lift it up. That's the arm. The bead, as Richard Wilson would say, stays down longer than you think. So when I see you just kind of do this, watch. Just watch. I see you kind of just, you start to bend, and then the bead comes up while you're still going up, even if it's a tiny bit. If your forearm is going up, the bead should be pointing down. You have to go up considerably, go up a little more, exaggerate it to really feel a Richard Wilson throw. Come on, leave that bead down though. Right, there it is, there it is. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release. Release, release. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're playing triplets. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now I want you into triplets now. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and 16th note triplets. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. Oh, come on, you're too fast. Don't do that, Ralph. You're not helping yourself. Oh, wait. You have to put the metronome on. Is it on? How do you know if you're playing 6 triplets if your metronome isn't on? Okay, so if it's going click, click, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, da 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 1, 2, 3. Can you do groups of 4/16 triplets? 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a click, 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 click.
Two and that 3 and that 4 and that 1 and that 2 and that 3 and that 4.
One has to be with a metronome, right? 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1.
And the 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 1 and the.
Oh, one's got to be with a metronome. You can't just fake it. Maybe this is too modern. Maybe I'm asking for too much because your mind, maybe I've incorporated too much. We'll try it one more time. Let's just see. Because this is cool. Maybe this is a concept that's out of your wheelhouse. Let's see. 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and. You can just do this. 1 and a 2 and a 3. Just do this with me. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. Start with that.
Say, do it again, sorry.
1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3. Got to count out loud. No, we're not playing paradiddles, just singles. I just want you to learn how to do this, so stay with me. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. Just do that.
1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 3 and a.
Don't pound. It's nice and easy. A 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a.
3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a.
Come on, stay with it.
The 2 and the 3 and the 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the.
Stop. Start again. Stop. Start again. 1 and 3 land with a metronome. It's easy enough to know if whether you're there. There's a light blinking. Okay, oh, you're too slow. You start again. You missed the 3. Then you were too slow. Just start again.
Okay.
There, now you got it. And a 3. 1, 2, 3. Now can you do this? 4 and a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Every 4 notes.
1 and
2 and that's just going to be up and down, up and down. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release. Ah. Oh, see, you want to polarize the 1. Got to play in between 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. 1 and a 2 down and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. 1 and a 2. You had it. You had it. And a 3 and a 4 and the 3 will be an up, won't it? Listen, now you're feeling that. And I'm just asking you to groups of 4. Two and a 3 and a 4 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and you're not really making an upstroke though. I'm concerned. You're not a clean upstroke. And a 2 and a 3 and watch me. 1 and watch my up. Doesn't it look like what I showed you? It's this to this. So it's 1 and a 2 and a look. There's an honest to goodness up. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and it starts to take on the feeling of just my feet on the up. Okay, now you got that. Now can you play paradiddles? It's just 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and now it feels like it wants to rebound. Yeah. So I'm releasing into a rebound. Good. Raph. Good. Is your metronome not on?
No.
No, which by the way is cool because if you're counting.
I was counting.
I know you were. It means you were your metronome.
Yeah.
Which means you can do it. It would be nothing. Go put the metronome on. It's just one other level of awareness. All you have to do is count in time. Just counting up to 6, man. 1 and 2. Now the one's in the right. Now the one's in the left. Rush. It really helps you with your time, doesn't it? Now your left really wants to just release and not turn twice, but your right wants to turn twice. So your left is a little hipper than your right. Just release and let it bounce. Not bad. And a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Okay. 1, let's see. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a, so we got modern. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze. See, it's definitely rebound. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release. It's real snappy.
It's interesting because if I look at your hand doesn't open much when you go up anyway.
I told you it's tiny. If you exaggerate it, you'll be another Kevin Crabb. Don't be another Kevin Crabb. So you're feeling it. I think for right now, taking it any faster, I think that you've got this feeling now. Okay, you're moving around a fixed point. You're developing a real understanding of what an actual, honest to goodness throw is. Right? Now, let's take a look at doubles and roll strokes real quick, and I will seam the two together. Okay, so if we are, okay. So what we're going to do, what would Dick say? Where's your horse?
No.
Right, because you don't want to sound like a horse crossing a bridge. You want to try to get it even. Now, can we get it even? If we want to get it even, we're playing 16th notes. And again, if we're just playing doubles, we have to stop at the floor every time because we know we're going to eventually move around that, right? So we're playing just trying to get that nice and relaxed. Okay, play a 5-stroke roll.
With the rebounds or no rebounds?
On the wrist. Now play a 5-stroke roll. Means to add the accent. Very different than a paradiddle, is it? There's only the Raph. There's, and I don't know. Your metronome is off. It's cool. It's cool. But so there's only one note difference, right? There's a paradiddle is right, left, right, left, right, left. And this is right, left, left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, left, right, left, left, right. So we're just adding one note. So that they're doubles now, right? But what can't go away is everything we talked about. Another right. So instead of it's 1, 2, 3, 4, squeeze. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. Your metronome.
What speed? 40?
Actually dovetailing what we did with the paradiddle. Don't pound. It's just this general thing. It's not pounding. It's just going up and down, up and down. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze. Decide how high you're turning for your doubles because they're not the same one hand to the other, and they're not the same as when you were just playing doubles. You have to decide. So you decide how high you're going to come up every time, right? 3.5 inches, whatever it is. So the metronome is on the right, starting. Now on the it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. So it's on the downbeat one way, and then it's on the backbeat the other, because you're over the bar line. Okay, let's see. No, let me try it. Let me see. We didn't play any slower than that because really what we did, if I was really duplicating what we did with the paradiddle, we would play it as eighth notes. Go ahead and play it as eighth notes so that I'm true to the experiment. 1, 2, 3, 4, squeeze. 1, 2, release, squeeze. 1, 2, release. So you're going to hold the squeeze. Squeeze. Now it's going to be a little more relaxed right there. Now the left's going to be right there. Now squeezing. Now the right's going to hold that squeeze. Now it's going to release. Okay, good. Okay, then we went to 16th notes. Now let's see where this would go. So let's see. We're there. One and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1, 2 and. Can you do that? 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1. Okay, now you'll notice at that speed. Slow, but I'm just turning and getting 2 notes. Just 2 of these. You have to be in 16th note triplets. We're just getting the paradiddle experiment. And we're getting kind of funky and modern, but it's cool. Keeps it interesting. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. Squeeze. So here it would be, so stay with me now. I'm not sure it's the right tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're at this tempo. It's like this. That's the tempo. So you have to set it up so you know where you are. Metronome should be on so you know you're correct.
I was hearing.
I know, but put your metronome on because there's a delay.
So you want what, triplets?
I want you to play singles just to get the speed, just like we did with the paradiddle. That's not the tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Not hanging. Good. Now turn that into paradiddles. Sorry, 5-stroke roll. Da 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 ba da 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 ba ba. One and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So all you really want to do is think about the 3-finger grip and try to get a squeeze and release. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. Keep it small. Don't suddenly start turning your right way up in the air. Keep making that motion. Honest to goodness throw. Okay. Yeah, good. So you're getting that. Got the idea. So let's take this. Let's see where this goes. Isn't that where we stopped the other one? Paradiddle, paradiddle, da 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down to down 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Click, click. So now we're here. see that might be a little fast. Da, da, da. See, let me see. It's still very slow. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 1 and so now the metronome would be at 80 and we'd be playing 16th notes. Or we're playing 32nd notes. Squeeze, release, release. Where'd it go from there? So squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release. See, you've lost. Watch. Got to keep this motion going. Squeeze, release, squeeze, squeeze, release, 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 squeeze, the paradiddle feels slow. Watch. So here's we've got. Here, so here you have squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release. Don't play for a second. Paradiddle, 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 paradiddle. See if it feels slower. Paradiddle, 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 paradiddle. So we're just adding one note. Paradiddle, 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 squeeze, release, squeeze. Now we've got a 5-stroke roll. Right? And a paradiddle would be this. Because it just becomes these motions connected with squeezing and releasing, right? Being aware of that, getting the bottom of the beat on the upstroke, right? And all you're doing is increasing the speed of, Dick would say, Kevin, as fast as you can squeeze and release is as fast as you can play the paradiddle or said stroke, right? Okay, so much better today. As you can see, all the things that I've been discussing, you are able to conceive of and demonstrate, right? So when it comes to the 5-stroke roll, the 5-stroke roll feels a little faster because there's an extra note to me, right, as I demonstrated. So for you, we were at...
Oh, the paradiddle, right? The paradiddle has the extra note.
No, the paradiddle has one less note.
Oh, yeah.
And so we got up in both the paradiddle and the 5-stroke roll. we got up to what are 16th note triplets, which is alone. And by the way, you should probably practice before you go to play these strokes at a modulated tempo. First, you just want to play singles, alternating singles, to lock in the tempo. Started to do. Oh yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and then I had you play it with just the one hand making the throw every 4 notes, right? That might be a cool thing. I'll have you do that as well. And then left, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Then we'll turn it into paradiddles. 5-stroke roll. You want to play the doubles at the right speed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're going to play singles to get the tempo for paradiddles, as particularly when you get into what are groups of 4 or 5 within the context of a 16th note triplet. A little bit modern. Murray wouldn't do stuff like that. Dick would do stuff like that. And then it ends up on my tune called The Crabb. Ba ba da ba da ba ba da ba ba da do ba ding do ba da do ba da ba ba dum. Squeeze release, squeeze release, squeeze release, squeeze release, squeeze release. Right? So this stuff will come out in your playing, which is why it's kind of cool to embrace the Richard Wilson approach, which has a way of perhaps complicating things, but I think it's worth the sacrifice, right? And that's why I want you to play jazz, because probably in a rock setting, except maybe for your solo, although if you're clever, you can play some really neat stuff and no one will know.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Keep the groove going, right? Keep the dance going and everyone will love your playing, no matter what you play. So, very good today.
Thank you, Kevin.
Welcome, Ralph.